Russia's industrial production continues to grow steadily. According to Rosneft, the industrial production index amounted to 105.3% compared to the same month last year. The manufacturing sector is growing at a faster pace at 109.5%. The production of machine building complex shows the highest rates of development, and the majority of new capacities in the reporting month were also commissioned in machine building and metalworking. In second place are new facilities for the chemical industry. All in all, according to the Made in Us website, 20 new production facilities with construction costs of more than 100 million rubles each will be opened in Russia in November 2023. Smaller productions were not included in the survey, including the opening of 4 mega-large production facilities with investments of over 1 billion rubles each. So, Power Machines launched a new production of cast turbine blades worth 6 billion rubles. Power Machines has commissioned a unique high-tech production facility for cast blades, where, for the first time in Russia, a critical technology has been introduced to create the most complex gas turbine parts, hot path blade castings. The new complex was created on the territory of turbine blades production of Power Machines in St. Petersburg. It is equipped with unique technological equipment, much of which is designed and manufactured by special order by Russian enterprises specializing in non-standard equipment for industry. The production facility, with an area of over 6,000 square meters, invested over 6 billion rubles, of which 2.4 billion rubles in the form of 2 soft loans was provided by the Federal Fund for Industrial Development. The capacity of the new production facility is designed to produce 16 sets of cast blades of large-capacity gas turbines per year, with the possibility of increasing up to 24 sets. One set includes about 550 pieces of molded blades. This will provide the necessary volume of blades for our own production of Power Machines as well as for gas turbine service. A bearing plant was launched in the Moscow region. It was launched on the territory of the Dubna Economic Zone. The plant occupies 1,500 square meters of area and is equipped with modern equipment for manufacturing auto bearings of all types and sizes. The building provides an equipped laboratory for quality control of finished products. According to the design capacity, the production facility will produce up to 380,000 bearings per year. 30 jobs were created. The volume of investment in the project amounted to more than 200 million rubles. Gazprom launched the first natural gas liquefaction complex in the Southern Federal District. It was launched in Bykovsky district of Volgograd region. The plant was designed by Russian engineers and 70% of the equipment is from domestic manufacturers. A new polymer plant was launched in the Borovsky district of the Kaluga region. It was launched in the Wersin Industrial Park, IMIT company. It is known that investments in the project amounted to 470 million rubles. 50 jobs have been created here. At present, the construction of a modern workshop with an area of 1,900 square meters has been completed. Work was carried out on the construction of an open warehouse for finished products. The installation of 3 production lines has been completed. We plan to invest another 200 million rubles in the next stages. In the Moscow region, thanks to the Industrial Development Fund, a workshop for the production of import substituting cables was opened. It was launched by the Moskabel plant, part of the Moskabel Med Group. The produced cables will be designed for the oil and gas industry, construction, shipbuilding and ship repair. These include geophysical, heating and marine cables, as well as communication and control cables. Investments in the creation of the new production facility exceeded 530 million rubles. After reaching the design capacity, the new workshop will produce up to 6,000 kilometers of cables per year, including about 1,000 kilometers of ship cables. All products are made entirely from domestic raw materials. The localization level is 100%. A new shop for production of sealants was opened in Vladimir. It was opened by a company called Adhesive. 61 new jobs will be created. With the launch of the new workshop, Adhesive's capacity will triple. Investments in the project amounted to about 110 million rubles. Polyplastic Group's plant has mastered production of glass composite tape for oil and gas pipes. This production was launched at Gaztrubplast plant after modernization and creation of an additional production area where the production of own thermoplastic unidirectional glass composite tape was established. It is used to form the reinforcing layer of a new range of GPATs from the Polyplastic Group, called polyfibrin. Investments in the project amounted to about 150 million rubles. To date, Ida Gastrubplast has installed a high-tech line that can produce up to 3,000 kilometers of tape per year. This volume is sufficient to produce between 1,000 and 1,500 kilometers of GPATs, depending on their diameter. A new production facility for veterinary drugs was opened in Moscow. It was opened by a company called VetBiochem. Immunologic drugs for animals will be produced there. The enterprise is located on the territory of the Special Economic Zone Technopolis Moscow. The plant will produce about 5.5 million vials of live vaccines. 10 million vials of liquid immunobiologic preparations and more than 1.5 million vials of chemical pharmaceuticals per year. The area of production of veterinary drugs exceeds 6.5 thousand square meters, of which more than 4,000 square meters are clean rooms. Investments in the implementation of the project amounted to 2 billion rubles. The plant has created more than 100 jobs and doubled the company's capacity. A boiler equipment plant in the Rostov region launched a new shop. This workshop will produce machinery that will allow doubling the production volume and setting up the production of block module boiler houses. The shop assembles outdoor boilers, block modular boiler houses, air heaters. A new electronics plant was launched in Tatarstan with the support of the Industrial Development Fund. It was launched by the iCell group of companies. There will produce multi-layer motherboards for desktop, mobile and server systems. On the territory of the Special Economic Zone Innopolis in Leshesky district of the Republic of Tatarstan, the new enterprise will produce surface mounting of printed circuit boards with the installation of Intel MD processors by Call and Elbrus. At the first stage, the new enterprise will produce 300,000 boards annually with an increase to 1 million boards in the perspective of 3 years, which will allow the company to take up to 9% of the domestic motherboard market, partially replacing imports. Investments in the plant project amounted to 2 billion rubles. 80 high-performance jobs have been created at the new motherboard production facility. In the long term, the plant will employ 400 people. A new shipbuilding shop of the Lena United River Shipping Company was launched in Yakutia. It was opened in Zhetai. The facility has a total area of 1,296 square meters. The new shop will produce ship hull parts, i.e. niche planking, scribes and other ship hull kits. Basla launched a self-adhesive materials plant near Voronezh. It was launched in the village of Bobiakovo. The maximum output of the new production facility will exceed 15 million square meters of materials per month. This will ensure a continuous labeling process at strategically important enterprises in the Black Earth region and other regions of the country. The project costs amounted to more than 100 million rubles. The total amount of investments in production exceeded 200 million rubles. Raritech launched production of import substituting cryogenic tanks in Naberezhny Chelny. This is the first such project in the industrial sector of not only the city, but also the region. Investments in the project, created within the framework of import substitution, amounted to 250 million rubles. It took the company a year to prepare the production area of 1,500 square meters for the development of technical documentation. The project created 25 new jobs. Perm-Cry launched production of equipment for offshore and LNG projects. It was launched by Alliance Spetsmash. The enterprise will produce components for air-cooled extraction-type apparatuses, connecting parts of pipelines and tank equipment, as well as gas metering units, pumping stations and elements of heat exchange equipment, including columns and separators. As a result of the project implementation, the share of imports in the segment of air-cooled extraction-type units will be reduced to 85%. Pipeline connecting parts up to 71%. Capacitive equipment up to 6+%. Total investment in the project amounted to just under 3 billion rubles. 2 new workshops have been built on Ivanov's photoprint. Photoprint Ivanova continues to expand production of Spabond, a thin non-woven material. The company has launched a new facility to produce finished products from its Spabond. These are disposable sheets of various types of packaging, also covering material for gardeners. It also opened a workshop for plastic, bag fittings, plastic edging, trays, disposable utensils, soap dishes, tape and Spabonda. A site for the production of unmanned aircraft systems was opened in Moscow. It was opened in the Rudnevo Industrial Park. This is the first such site in Russia for pilot and small-scale contract manufacturing. Here, developers are provided with services for manufacturing drone parts, assemblies and units, as well as assistance in research and development. More than 35 units of high-tech equipment, including 3D printers, turning, electroerosion, laser, machining and milling machines, have been installed in the center of collective use. There is a machining area, painting areas, welding, additive machining, material blanking, heat treatment and a chemical oxidizing area. PolymerTech.com has launched a polymer sleeve production line in the Moscow region. It was launched in the Yesipov Industrial Park in Solnechnogorsky district, Moscow region. The company received test batches of the product earlier in May this year. At the first stage, the company will produce polymer sleeve for repairing pipes with diameters from 40 to 800 millimeters. 2 more lines are scheduled to launch in the second quarter of 2024. The launch of new lines will increase the production capacity of the enterprise at least 3 times. The total amount of investments in the implementation of the import substituting project in Solnechnogorsky urban district will amount to more than 550 million rubles. New asphalt concrete plants were launched in the DNR and Kherson region. The first phase of work includes 10 city and neighborhood streets. The government of Kherson region reported about the launch of the third asphalt concrete plant, which will fully cover the needs of Kherson road builders in material for repair and renewal of highways. The plant produces up to 2,500 cubic meters of asphalt mix and just over 1,000 cubic meters of concrete per day. The Saratov region launched production of spare parts for foreign cars. Parts will be made for Renault, Nissan and Mitsubishi. The enterprise, Rezinotechnica, in Balikovo entered the market of manufacturers of auto parts for foreign cars. This year we mastered the production of oil seals, engines, transfer boxes and drives. In addition, after the sanctions were imposed, during the year Rezinotechnica opened the experience for the production of 15 products for conveyor enterprises of the automobile industry of the plant, KAMAZ, Ural, Yazda, Avtodiesel, and others. These are oil seals of internal combustion engines, transmission assemblies, gearboxes, transfer cases, hub assemblies and fuel equipment. It also resumed production of 4 products for Avtovaz to replace imported products. A new plant for the production of industrial explosives components was opened in Tuva. It was opened by Rostec State Corporation. The products are necessary for drilling and blasting operations and will be supplied to the largest mining companies of the Republic. The total cost of the project amounted to more than 400 million rubles. A drilling rig production facility was opened in Ekaterinburg, which will produce up to 100 large-sized drilling machines per year. According to the Department of Information Policy of the Sverdlovsk region, 200 million rubles were invested in the production. The company NIPI Garmosh is engaged in the design and manufacture of mining equipment. The company is headquartered in Yekaterinburg. A total of 20 major new industries have opened through November 2023. In terms of investment sources, there is no foreign capital here. All production facilities were opened by Russian capital.